Schellenmaker's will affect the kick, and he does.
Flowers the call, Puopolo, pocket, back away. He has it away.
Not from there.
Not possible.
And Mitchell on the left, gets the ball to Hawthorn. Oh, wow!
Cyril! 5 seconds to go, he's in advance. 13! 13! Can you believe it? He's kicked 13 on the siren.
Welcome to Hawk Talk for another week. I'm here with Declan Fay. My name is Lima. It's a very special welcome to our guest this week. We haven't seen him on the track for a few weeks, but he's here with us today. Number 33, Cyril Rioli. G'day, mate.
Thanks, guys.
How's I guess first things first. How's the hammy coming on?
Yeah, Hammy's come along very well. Had a few scans to check up on it, and all is going pretty well. I've been doing some running sessions and getting there slowly, but we're all on track for after the bye.
Yeah, right.
I remember you said last year to change the running style for the hamstrings. Yeah. Is it still something you wrestle with a bit, the old running style and the new running style?
Yeah, the running technique sort of it helps me, but it's just a small part of my rehab, and it's something I'm trying to get better. But yeah, it's not a big part of helping with my hammies, but yeah, hopefully I can overcome these injuries and get back.
Yeah.
So when you did the hammy, did you dip back into the old running style, just very briefly? Is that what the problem was?
Yeah, I think it was. Looking back on the replay, it was just a bit of overloading on one side of my leg, on the right leg, and that's what caused it to go.
Did you know straight away how bad it was?
Yeah.
Like as soon as you did, because you obviously stopped. Well, as soon as you did it, in your head, did you think to yourself, "Yeah, this is properly stuffed"?
Yeah. So when I heard it, I knew straight away. I've done a few, so I knew.
Yeah,
What that feeling was, and the feeling came back that I've done it, and so it wasn't good, and I just laid there for a few seconds just to.
Hoping that it would knit itself back together.
Hopefully it was just a bit of cramp, but it wasn't.
So what's your thought in that moment as you're laying there and you, to yourself, you're thinking, right, I've done it. What's going through your mind? Because you were having a blinder that game as well.
I was very happy with the way I was going, and when I did it, it was the last quarter, and so I knew it wasn't good. But yeah, I probably started thinking about how long I'm going to be out for. So.
Yeah.
Do you feel so far? I just thought you'd gotten off to such a great start at the year, and you seem to be sort of so busy in the forward line and on the ball. Did you feel you were having your best year to date so far?
Yeah, I was going pretty well. I was kicking goals and getting a few touches. So this is a bit of a setback, but I think with me now, I think I've got a different mindset going into the games, and I've got a bit of hunger behind me, and I want to get back out there. So.
And so far this year, I mean, you were having a cracking year. Was there anything different mindset, different pre-season? Did you just sort of seem so busy around the ball?
No, same pre-season. I think it's we always go back to the grand final, and that's just that plays in my head a lot, and that hunger, and the team's definitely got that this year. So.
Do you remember much of that grand final? We've had a few players in here from that grand final who've said, some of them say don't think about it, some of them said it's the motivation. Where does it sit for you?
I think not when I step out of line, but when I sort of get comfortable with myself, I'll start thinking about that and pull myself back and just remind myself that you don't want to feel that pain ever again. So
yeah. Does it crop up in your head at weird times? Like are you out to dinner with friends and then all of a sudden it just sneaks into the back of your mind?
I think if I see red and white, that's in.
So if you're sitting down, so if you're watching telly, because sometimes it'll come up in a promo for this season. Do you have to change channel straight away?
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I get tempted to throw the remote at the TV. So.
Now, I've got to ask you, having come from such a football family, related to Maurice Rioli and Michael Long, and the stat that I just found out this morning, you played for St Mary's.
Yep.
Is it true you played in 12 winning premierships?
No, that was my old man.
Oh, it was your old man.
It was Cyril Senior. So.
But did Cyril Junior win many premierships in junior years?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, under 14s, 16s.
Oh, that's all right.
So one of each. So when I was up there, and when I came down for school at Scotch, I always flew back for the finals and qualified for that, and ended up playing in one flag.
Yeah.
Hey, now on the weekend we saw, and I know you were there at the G on the weekend for the Gold Coast game.
Are you a loud cheer at the game, or you have to keep it quiet, or how are you at a game like that?
No, I sort of sit there and just sort of just talk to myself, and someone's out there free, sort of kick it, just talk to myself at the game. But I haven't been out in the crowd much, so it's good to get out and sit in the crowd and get that.
How do you reckon? Because I was about halfway through that game, I was thinking, geez, this could be like Richmond last year. How do you reckon Clarko would have been? What would it have been like in the box leading up to half time?
Our second quarter wasn't great, so I'm guessing he would have been fuming, and I think the second half really, the boys really showed something. So I'm guessing Clarko gave him a bit of
Were you in the rooms at half time?
No, I stayed up.
Yeah, good choice this week, mate.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be great. So
Right.
And what about Limo and I are very interested in young guns this year. Limo's onto Jed Anderson. I'm onto Bradley Hill. Have you had much mentoring with Bradley Hill? He seems like a fairly brash young player. Is he brash on and off the field?
Yeah, Bradley. He's a very exciting player, and off the field, he's always up and about. He's got a lot of energy, even at 7 in the morning. So, he's him and Jed and Hilly are going to be really good players for us. And Jed's his first year, and he's played a few games, so he's got a few games under his belt. But those two are going to be pretty important to us.
So you've got a long-standing connection with Jed, though, haven't you, from the top end?
Yeah, so he's a Darwin boy as well. So NT boy. So sort of know his family from up north.
There's an interview on the Hawthorn website with Jed Anderson, and one of the questions is, what would you do? And I was watching the interview. The question was, what would you do if you weren't a professional footballer? And in my head, I thought, I bet he says fisherman, and it came back and he said fisherman.
Oh, that's great.
I'd definitely do that.
Yeah,
absolutely. Now, before we let you go, Cyril, we'll actually get you to sign the Guernsey while you're here, mate.
Yep.
And I need to ask you, you're going to be back in a few weeks, but I see a couple of the injured boys, Matty Suckling and Alex Woodward, have got to go over to Europe.
Yep.
On a little holiday. You didn't get offered a European holiday at any point while you were in rehab?
Nah, I think those guys are out for a while. So I think Shuey missed out by a week. So unlucky for him. But I've seen a few photos from the boys, and it looks like they're having a real good time.
They seem to be having fun. All right, thanks very much, Cyril Rioli. We'll be back very, very shortly with the last week's competition winner and next week's competition. Well, our question last week for the competition was, who's your favourite ever Indigenous player to run around for the Hawks? And Deck, I know we had a load of entries.
Well, mate, I thought it was just going to be loaded up. I thought it was going to be head-to-head Cyril and Buddy.
Yeah.
But there was some great suggestions. There was Burgoyne's, there was Bateman's.
Yep.
There was even a couple for Mark Williams. A couple of nostalgic Hawks fans missing the old shotgun.
The shotgun, yeah.
I think Clarko doesn't miss the shotgun.
No, not in the slightest.
But, geez, we had some rippers, and I'm going to give it to this one. This is from Jamie, and he, I think, writes, my favourite Indigenous player to pull on the brown and gold would have to be Chance Bateman, but only when he had dreadlocks. Bateman was the spark that we needed in the 2008 Grand Final when he kicked the first goal for Hawthorn. 2008 was his best season for the club by a mile, and unfortunately was the last season we saw the dreadlocks. When the dreadlocks went, I was devastated. He never played the same again without them. So my official answer is Chance Bateman with dreadlocks.
It's a very, very good answer, Jamie. And on the weekend, Chance Bateman gave Sam Grimley his debut Guernsey, presented it to him in the rooms beforehand. And I think Clarko commented afterwards that he was quite keen for Chance Bateman to run it on the ground after half-time because we were lacking a bit of his run. But it's certainly a superstar and premiership player, of course, for the Hawthorn Football Club.
He was an absolute superstar, and people forget the work he did the years before that during those sort of barren middle 2000 wilderness years.
When he had the dreadlocks.
But that 2008 year was just something extraordinary.
Yeah, he was great. Well, Jamie, you've won yourself a Sean Burgoyne signed Guernsey. Our question for next week. Sam Grimley, as
Yes.
I mentioned, debuted on the weekend, and we were very, very happy with Sam Grimley's form on the weekend.
He kicked a goal with his first kick in AFL football, which is always one of those great stats that you love to hang on to.
Puts him in a nice club. I think there's about 210 players in that particular club.
Lee Matthews did it for Hawthorn.
Oh, did
actually.
he?
He did.
Yeah, right, okay. Well, Sam Grimley is now in that club. A great debut. So our question for next week, who for you has made the most memorable debut for the Hawthorn Football Club? Send your entries through to HawkTalk at hawthornfc.com.au. The winner will get themselves a Cyril Rioli signed Guernsey. So your favourite ever debut for the Hawks. Feel free to chuck a few jokes in, chuck a bit of mayo on top of the story, whatever you want to do. The best answer will, of course, win.
It always helps when I'm churning through the 400 emails at about 10 minutes before the show. Don't mind a joke in there.
It's nice to chuck in a few laughs. Well, Declan Fay, thank you very much once again. And don't forget to tune in for our flashback in a couple of days' time. That's it for us for this week. Any feedback at all, please send it through to hawktalk at hawthornfc.com.au. Thank you. Go the Hawks.